Here we go with example 2 underneath Cartesian coordinate system. So we have a couple of ordered pairs. Just again, keep in mind that an ordered pair is also referred to as a point. So, I just want to make sure that I get to the point here. Let me get to the point. So anyway, we've got a couple of ordered pairs, and we want to find the distance between them. So, first of all, let's plot them to get the visual. So x is 7, right? It's positive 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X is 7. All right. And y is negative 3. Negative 1, 2, 3. So that ordered pair would be somewhere around here. I don't know why I plotted that other one up there. Let me get that out of there. All right. So 7, negative 3 is that ordered pair, that position, that location, that point. 5, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5, 2, right about there. Many times in math, in geometry, we want to find the distance between 2 points. In other words, if you walked a straight line between those 2 points, what would be the distance between them? And so this is going to blow you away, but if you want to know the distance between 2 points, there's a formula for that. Now, before we get into it though, let's talk about this. What's the distance formula? When you have 2 ordered pairs, the thing is if you label it x, y, generically, x, y, that's the general way of labeling a point, x, y, x, y. But many of you, I'm sure, have been exposed to the idea that if you have multiple ordered pairs, how do we distinguish them? So we would say this is the x for point number 1 and the y for point number 1, and this is the x for point number 2 and the y for point number 2. So we call those subscripts, and so in general, we'll call them x1, y1, and x2, y2. And there's a formula for finding the distance here, and it's called the distance formula. What a crazy name, huh? So, so this will be a piece of cake. Here's the distance formula. All right, now it comes from something called the Pythagorean theorem, but all we have to do is plug these numbers in there. That's pretty much it. So here we go. We're jamming numbers in. X2 is 5 minus x1, which is 7, parentheses squared, plus y2, which is 2, minus y1. We gotta be careful here. The formula has minus, and the number that goes after the minus is gonna be negative 3. So get used to this. When you have a minus followed by a negative number, wouldn't that become plus? My brain says minus negative, that's plus. Be careful with that. That's an easy one to mess up. All right, moving on from there, we do the order of operations. So we do what's in the parentheses. So 5 minus 7 is negative 2. And 2 plus 3 is 5. And continuing on, negative 2 squared is 4. And 5 squared is 25. You know what's tempting to do here a lot of times is that since both of those numbers are perfect squares, a lot of times folks want to drop the radical on top of both of them. I'm looking for a good marker. But the thing is, addition prevents us from just taking the square roots of each individual number. So the proper thing to do is to go ahead and add them. That's supposed to be a square root symbol. And 4 plus 25 is 29. So these are exactly the square root of 29 units apart. And it's always a debate as to how close you want that. But I would say, just to give a better sense of it, that is approximately 5.4 units, 5.38. Again, rounding is an arbitrary thing. So don't worry about where you round them. Let's go 1 decimal place, say. Okay, so those 2 points are 5.4 units apart. Distance, all right? The other part to the question, if you go back, part B, midpoint, all right? point would be the operative part of that, I think. Points are ordered pairs. See, a distance is a single number. How far are these 2 points? A midpoint is basically the point that would be halfway between these. So I'm eyeballing it and I'm saying that'd be right about there. Well, a midpoint is 2 numbers, x, y. It's an ordered pair. There's a formula for finding a midpoint. You want to guess its name? Midpoint! That's right, it's the midpoint formula. And here again, we've got our 2 ordered pairs called x1, y1, and x2, y2. And I'll put it up here because you already have it. But, you know, I think of the word average. How do you average 2 things? You add them up and divide by 2. So that one has a little bit of intuition built into it. We could get deep into where these come from. We don't have a lot of time, I'm afraid. I'm doing the best I can with the time that I have. So, x1 plus x2 over 2, that would be the average of the x's. By the way, that would be 12 over 2, or 6, right? So that would be the x-coordinate of that ordered pair over there that's halfway between these. And then y1 plus y2 over 2, which is -1 over 2, -0.5, -0.5. I don't care if you leave it fraction or whatever. So there's distance, there's midpoint. The midpoint, eyeballing it, it seems reasonable that that would line up with 6 on the x and -0.5 on the y. I should have scaled that bigger. I'm a rookie, I'm new at this. I'm really sorry. I'll try to do better next time. Next time I teach online, which I'm not really thinking it's going to happen much. All right, but anyway, there you go. So there we are. Distance midpoint. We're now going to move on, and we're going to talk about how this relates to functions, which will be a continuation of assignment number 17. So get ready now for having some fun with functions.